about these sort of things, and I thought that I had to give him a plug for this. He identifies as a recovering attorney and serves as the director for Nuestra Comunidad, an affordable housing development CDC in Dudley. And recently he's collaborated with a group of civic advocates for transit and the MIT Media Lab, prototyping and educating community members on bus rapid transit and how that might look in Boston. And he introduced me to two folks for the two projects I'll talk about related to transit. Mark Mattel, Enterprise Rose Fellow, and then project manager at Nuestra, worked on Bartlett Yard for 4 years. And Bartlett Yard is Boston's Roxbury's neighborhood. It is the redevelopment of an 8-acre former bus yard and gentrifying TOD is Transformed Development District into a mixed-use, mixed-income, public arts-themed new neighborhood designed to anchor 200 families in affordable housing and provide multiple opportunities for local small businesses. So Mark kind of was given the task to kind of figure out how to program this site before demolition and before construction. And he was able to organize artists and community members to come in and have barbecues, paint the garage doors, and install sculptures. So really thinking about this as placemaking even before the building's there. And then Michael Chavez, he's also in Boston and Rose Fellow, still in his fellowship, working with Fairmont Indigo Line, CDC Collaborative, and just kind of three different CDCs. They bring together stakeholders, including 3 CDCs along a 6-mile rail line running through 3 working-class Boston neighborhoods, with a short-term focus on placemaking and open space development around 4 new transit stations in order to create community anchors and development plans for future build-out around stations. And so Mike was formerly with Youth Build and has a lot of experience with design build and working with at-risk youth to kind of create projects. So he's kind of used this as an opportunity to kind of harness that skill set and network and start to kind of spur conversations along access to transit. And so that's kind of it for my tour itself. There's countless, hundreds of images and projects I didn't talk about, people I talked to, and friends that I visited and stayed with. And so thank you to all of them. Most of them are obviously in their respective cities, not here. But my main takeaways from this, what did I learn? What caused it? What does it look like? What do we talk about when we talk about gentrification? Is that the architecture of gentrification is not found in like the IDP handbook or building a structural detail. It's much more about the network of systems and policies that set the stage for people to live, for people to work, and for people to play. And so, what is my role? What is our role as professionals? I think that it's there's kind of 5 takeaways in these 5 different cities and 5 kind of tactics. I think it's community engagement and civic participation. I think going to neighborhood meetings, voting is more important than we all might think. Zoning, advocating for inclusionary zoning, zoning that allows for all people to afford a place to live is something that, as architects, we have specialty in. We have credibility in our specialty in zoning, and we can advocate and make a mark and carve out a niche for that. And job security, if that's something that we're interested in, it creates more work for us. And then federal programs, knowing the policies, knowing the state policies, knowing the federal policies that shape the cities that we live in and that dictate how we can build either open space or housing. And then finally, not just transit-oriented development, but placemaking, site, and access to amenities. So I encourage you all to kind of think about these things, either after you leave school or if you come to school. But I think that using these to inform your kind of architectural preservation or real estate agenda is really a really important thing to take with you. So I would just want to kind of end there and open up for questions.